Hey, what's going on, guys? So NVIDIA just pushed out a new Game Ready update, and this one is all about fixes rather than some huge feature drop. Game Ready drivers are the ones NVIDIA puts out to line up with new games and keep things tuned for performance and reliability. And this release is also WHQL certified, so it is part of that official tested driver track. This particular release is aimed at cleaning up a handful of annoying issues that people have actually been running into. The first thing that jumps out is Apex Legends, because NVIDIA lists occasional visual corruption after long play sessions as one of the fixed problems. That kind of bug is the worst because it does not always show itself right away. You can be fine for a while, then suddenly textures or visuals start acting up after the game has already been running for a bit. Then there is the multi-monitor stuff, and this one is probably going to matter a lot more to people who game with a more complex setup. NVIDIA says gaming stability has been improved in multi-monitor configurations when VSync is used with DLSS Frame Generation. That is a pretty specific combo, but if you are using it, you know how frustrating it can be when one extra setting throws the whole experience off. The update also fixes a problem that could cause jittering or ghosting in some DirectX 11 games when smooth motion is enabled, and it fixes crashes that could happen in some games when smooth motion was turned on. Another interesting one is the DLSS issue. NVIDIA says some users may have seen DLSS settings grayed out in certain games after updating to a previous display driver. That is the kind of weird little bug that can make you second guess whether the game itself is broken, when really it is just a driver issue in the background. Alongside that, World of Warcraft gets a stability improvement too, so that is another pretty big name on the list that benefits here. On the general side of things, there are a few monitor and system fixes that are easy to overlook but still really useful. NVIDIA says this update resolves a frame pacing issue on certain monitors when G-Sync is enabled on ADA-based cards. It also improves general stability when the system fails to create a new allocation, which sounds dry on the surface, but in practice, it is the kind of thing that can help with sudden weirdness that feels random when you are gaming or using the system normally. There is also a fix for a monitor detection problem where EDID could not be read properly on certain displays, causing them to show up as NVIDIA NV failsafe. That is one of those issues that can make a monitor look like it is barely hanging on, even though the panel itself is fine. NVIDIA also says it fixed an issue where certain monitors would not wake from sleep mode, which is one of those problems that sounds minor until you have to power cycle your display every time you step away from the PC for a few minutes. So when you look at the whole update, the pattern is pretty clear. This is not one of those releases trying to sell you on a giant new feature set. It is more of a cleanup pass that focuses on actual day-to-day pain points, especially for people using G-Sync, DLSS Frame Generation, smooth motion, and multi-monitor setups. It's also nice to see game-specific fixes in the mix, because Apex Legends and World of Warcraft are both the kind of titles where people notice even a stability problem right away. So yeah, that is the main idea behind this update. It is the kind of driver that does not sound exciting until you remember how much better a PC feels when the random glitches stop happening.